Okay, some days I have to just get on here and deliver you a brutal truth. Some days I have to just tell you how things are, even if you don't like to hear it. Sometimes I just have to tell you the raw truth of female nature, and we have to get right into it so that way you can understand and internalize these concepts. Because here's what you have to understand. If you have spent the majority of your life learning a false programming that didn't serve you in your dating life, you are going to have to not only unlearn everything that you learned, but you're going to have to constantly internalize the truth so that way you can see things from a new angle. So in today's video, I just titled this The 5 Reasons Why Women Love to Cheat. And no matter how this makes you feel, you have to understand that this is probably going to occur at some point in your dating life. And the sooner you can understand her mind, the sooner you can actually get real life dating success. So I'm going to get right into it. I spent the whole morning drafting this so I could really get right to the main points that you need to know. So number 1, women's core nature. Like, this is what you have to understand about her core nature. Women's core nature is to be drawn to what is considered bad and bite from the forbidden fruit. Her core nature is to be drawn to what's bad, bite from the forbidden fruit, and even do this despite it hurting your emotions. Like, the biggest thing you have to understand and realize regarding female nature or hypergamy is she doesn't care. She doesn't care how this makes you feel, because ultimately what she's optimizing for at the end of the day is satisfying and appeasing her own emotions, because women will be most loyal to their own emotions, and how she feels is going to dictate majority of her decisions. So women's core nature is to be drawn to what is considered bad and bite from the forbidden fruit. So this also comes down to inverses. Your dream relationship or your dream fantasy is opposite from hers. So you most likely want a happy wife, a happy life with, a puppy and a white picket fence and a new house, a nice house with a amazing, layout and whatever, decorations or whatever. And you want probably this good, stable environment with this amazing, stable family, and a woman, right, or a wife who loves you for you and wants to spend every day with you. That is probably what you want. Her core fantasy is much different. Her core fantasy is opposite. Her core fantasy is not that at all. And this is what you have to learn, understand, recognize, and realize, is that she wants what she should not do. She wants what is oftentimes considered bad. So that is number 1. Women's core nature is to be drawn to these things. And you have to just understand this, recognize this, and internalize this. That is number 1. Number 2, okay, the second reason why women love to cheat. Her emotions need and want and desire and even crave the thrill. Okay, stay with me until the end of this video, because by the time I get to point number 5, this will totally change how you see relationships almost forever. Point number 2, her emotions need, want, desire, and even crave the thrill. So listen to me closely, because how I say this exact sentence matters. Even if she knows there may be negative repercussions in her relationship after the cheating occurs, that drama and that tension, wondering if she will get caught for cheating, satisfies her. This is so important to understand. Her emotions need, want, and desire, and even crave that thrill. So even if she knows that there may be negative repercussions in her relationship, boyfriend finds out, people know, the boyfriend is devastated, she starts catching more feelings for the other guy who she was cheating with, okay? Even if she knows that there may be negative repercussions in her relationship after, that drama and that tension, wondering if she will get caught, satisfies her. That what if I get caught? This is so exciting. This is so much thrill. What's going to happen next? What may happen next? These things keep her mind wondering. And these things creates different kind of narrative, story, and fantasy in her mind. So once you start to see these things, you can never go back. Okay, that is number 2. Number 3, women become extremely satisfied knowing that they broke the spirit of a man who loved her. They become satisfied knowing that they broke the spirit of a man who loved her. So listen to me closely. That man who's attached, that man who would do anything for her, that man who would protect and provide and love her and care for her, her knowing that she was able to break his spirit gives her leverage. She looks at him and she goes, I'm better than him. She looks at him and goes, he went weak. She looks at him and she may even go, I'm glad I did this because I'm happy his spirit is crushed. Women become extremely satisfied knowing that they broke the spirit of a man who loved her, who was attached to her. So you can only love your God-given purpose. You can only love the one who created you. You can only love that purpose and fulfill that purpose every day as a man. That is your masculine calling. You stay as true to that masculine calling as you can, and you fulfill that every day, and you chase and pursue only that God-given purpose. You never chase or pursue the relationship. So, with point number 3, you can only love that God-given purpose. This is what you have to know. She will feel strong knowing that her beauty was so amazing, was so good, that her beauty, she was so beautiful, that she was able to hurt you and that you loved her. It's like she looks at herself and she goes, I'm so beautiful, I was able to get him attached, and now I was able to crush his spirit, I'm better than him. And hypergamy looks for better. Not necessarily richer, not necessarily higher status, but better than you. Hypergamy optimizes for better than you. And oftentimes that is the man who is not attached to that relationship. It is the man who is able to remain strong and not need her. And she gravitates towards the guy on the side strictly because the guy on the side does not have the same type of emotional feelings towards her that her boyfriend has. Very important to understand. Point number 4, write this one down. This is very important. Cheating satisfies her what if factor in her mind. So you have to understand this about women. They're constantly thinking about different things. They're constantly thinking about narrative and story and what's next. What's next and what if. You'll always notice this about women. They're always looking at the next thing. And what you're going to start to see is that cheating satisfies that what if factor in her mind. What if I get caught? What if there is something better? What if there is something better than the current man that I'm with? What if I have a life that's more fulfilling without him? What if? What if my life is better without this guy? Cheating satisfies that what if factor. What if the mystery man is better than you at everything, better than you in bed, better than you at being strong, better than you at protecting or providing, better in any way. That thrill satisfies her emotions. That thrill keeps her enjoying life. Her core fantasy is different than yours. And point number 5, I saved the best for last. This one is very powerful. And this one you have to understand because sometimes it purely is just physical. Point number 5, she wanted to be pleased more than what you could do. Sometimes it is just that. Sometimes it is you don't put it down the right way in the bedroom. Sometimes it is you don't have that experience where you're able to do these things the right way so that way she feels the amount of pleasure that she's used to, or she thinks that she could be pleasured better elsewhere. Sometimes it's purely physical. Now, what you have to do is you have to hear these things and not let it affect you. You have to hear these things and remain strong or stoic or rational and be like, okay, I have to just look at these points, these 5 points, and I have to be like, okay, 2 plus 2 is 4, and that's how it is. You have to just look at female nature and say, this is how it is. So to make this process even easier for you, what I did was I created an entire system, an entire community to actually help men learn, understand, and master the language of women. Because despite these problems coming up in your dating life, there is ways to make this easier. There is ways to still have a better dating life. There is ways to still ensure that you can gain the attraction and even the loyalty from a woman that you like and a woman that you want to have a future with. It is possible. It is possible to retain her interest without her pulling away. It is possible. You have to have hope, and you have to know that these things are possible. But it is not possible unless you know what you're doing. It is not possible unless you have a process. It is not possible unless you have a way, which is why I already created this for you. I have been helping guys learn, understand, and master the language of women. Join us inside of that community. Hit the like button, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.